Justice League, the Flashpoint, Paradise. I got mine. July 30th on Blu-ray, combo pack, DVD, on demand for download, anywhere and everywhere you want it. Later on, I'll sell this to the highest bidder. What do you say we bring out the panel? What do you think? You guys All right. You like the new look? Because those are character designs by Phil Barassa. You want an action scene directed? You call Jay Oliva. That's all he gets from those action sequences? He's got the hole in his head. Come on. How about an 8-time Emmy Award winner? You know her, you love her, you've heard every doggone word she's ever recorded. Andrea Romano.
Dude. Oh, I know.
She takes good direction.
Dude, you're the best.
How about words to film? Not an easy trick. Jim Krieg. Bring up Jim Krieg out there. And our producer. You saw Superman Unbound, and you're adapted into Flashpoint. Where is he, James Tucker? Mixed it up a little. This was a voice cast that I adore. You had to love the voices in this. Am I crazy? Bring out Superman himself, the legacy, the man from the Daily Show, the funnier out of the Daily Show that you catch on the internet all the time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google search Daily, D-A-L-Y Show, superheroes, and you'll never stop laughing. Sam Daly. You'll get that more later. We have never really had an Aquaman before, fully cast for a full episode, for a full film, and we have one now, Carrie Elwes. As villains go, I always loved Jimmy Woods doing the Owlman, but I think I got a new favorite on the villain trail. C. Thomas Howell. Tommy, come on out. This guy got off work today and raced his butt down here in the traffic through Del Mar and everything else. We had to fight like the dickens to get these people to release them, and they did, because Grey's Anatomy said it's important to have your Flash. Justin Chambers. All right. Man, no turning on the lights again. That was weird. All right, so let's start out with, because this is a unique look, and I'm thinking that there was some anime aspects to it. It was kind of a hybrid. What James, Jay, and Phil, what was the sensibility behind the look of the film?
Well, Phil was coming off Young Justice, which had a huge fan following. So I thought it'd be fun. It'd be fun to make him do totally the opposite design style. So, we're both fans of anime, and our studio that did this wonderful animation was Studio 4C from Japan. They do wonderful things, and we said, well, let's challenge them. Let's give them different designs than we normally would. Let's push ourselves, and that was the thought behind it. And I think they did a wonderful job, and particularly for the kind of scenes we had in this movie, it was pretty hardcore. I think you'll agree. And I think they did a great job with it, and I think the look suits it.
Yeah, I think, you know, just to add to what James is saying, you know, we really did want to play to the strengths of the studio. So I've gotten questions about why we didn't specifically adapt the look from the comics. And while that's a great look, not every comic book artist style translates particularly well to animation. We have to judge that based on, you know, also the studios that we're working with. So knowing that we were working with the brilliant Studio 4C in Japan, we decided to, you know, add these anime inflections that we felt would lend themselves to the world of Flashpoint, which is an extremely dark and sort of twisted version of the DCU. So, you know, we brought in influences like Kawajiri-san and Yutaka-san, who did Vampire Hunter D, stuff like that. Things that we just thought, you know, the Ninja Scroll stuff, things that we thought would really lend themselves well to the world of Flashpoint to get that more pushed and exaggerated look that we were going for.
I just wanted it to look cool. I went to Phil's office and I was like, you know, hey, we just finished YJ, let's do something a little different. And a lot of the added cameos were things that I added, because we had designed them for my show, episode 8 in first season of Young Justice, the Atlantis episode.
Woo! That's right.
We never used the characters again, and so when we came to this, when we started to work together, I told Phil, and I cleared it with James too. I'm like, hey, can we use Black Mana, and let's throw in you know, Calder and Tula, and then of course Phil's like, why don't we throw in Garth if we're going to do that? So of course we see.
Yeah, and we had a little fun with that. That was sort of our homage to Double Dragon or the Crimson Twins from G.I. Joe. They're sort of opposites, little thing going on there. But yeah, no, Jay knew I couldn't say no to, like, he would just dump all these cameos on my desk. And, you know, he knows I can't say no to adding these characters in because they're all just so much fun to draw. So we really had a blast. I mean, we did our best. We always try to do our best with the DC lore and the tradition in the DC universe, but with this one, we really felt like we could push it because we had this wonderful studio that was backing us up in Japan.
By the way, here comes water. Water getting delivered. Keep going. Thank you. We've been giving them out right and left. Thank you. If you don't clap, we'll come to each one of you with the water. By the way, contrary to usual, we actually got the folks to hold off doing a digital for purchase sale until this movie started showing here, so you guys could really be the first. So it's on sale right now, available. Go back to your hotel room, purchase for download. It's there. Jim, what's the best part or the toughest part of translating Jeff Johns to film?
I think it's the idea that if I did it wrong, I would never work again. You know what? It was an embarrassment of riches that I started working on this. During Green Lantern, so it wasn't a full comic book yet. I would just get the pages, the script pages, and the pencils, and it was overwhelming to read it all at once. And then, okay, what are you going to keep? What are you going to lose? And you know, it was very challenging. You just had to pick the things that had to be there and then squeeze in as many as you could otherwise.
Tommy, he lets us call him Tommy. I love that. What are the joys of playing villain?
I mean, a great bad guy makes the good guys better. You know, this is my first animated experience. Not my first bad guy, but I didn't really think he was a bad guy. But I tell you what, the best death scene in animated history, the bullet through the head.
That shot was love lovingly rendered by our producer, James Tucker. He took extra care with that shot.
There are several of you on the panel that are basically animation rookies. What was it like coming into the booth for the first time? Justin, Tommy, Sam?
It hurt at first.
I personally was so excited. You know, my dad's done the voice of Superman for over 10 years. He's something in the audience.
Okay, leave him alone now. He wants to watch the panel.
But so I was so excited just to be able to, you know, give voice to Superman, and to, you know, the fact that my dad had already done it, and to keep it in the family was so exciting, and to get to work with such incredible actors, and Andrea Romano, and such a great team. It was really an honor.
Justin, so was it a fun experience?
Yeah, it was great. I was really, really grateful to do it, and Andrea was a huge help. I just followed her lead, and you know, to get to work with a great cast like this is a big honor. I'm a huge fan of yours. Some of the films you've done are great, great, great movies. And, you know, it was different. It was interesting. I did have a sore throat for about 2 days because of the. I guess you can train that, and I didn't. But it was well worth my while, and I'm just happy to be here and look at all these. Wow, that's a lot of people in this room.
Gary, you're the veteran on the dais here, and you actually got to record with a group this time.
Yeah, well, it's a thrill for me too. I mean, I didn't know. It was a total thrill, and I mean, I thought that Aquaman was badass. Didn't you think it was badass?
Yeah!
I've worked with Andrea before. She's amazing, truly, and so it was just a thrill for me. I'm really proud of the work, and it's the first time I've seen the film, and I was as blown away as you guys, right? I mean, was this an incredible screen or what?
Justin, you got a favorite part of being a hero?
Well, sure, it's great to save the day. I mean, it's a good feeling. You know, I tried to work off his vulnerability a little more. He's a mama's boy, so we kind of went in that route. I think you can relate to a superhero that has some weakness. You know, I just kind of went with the flow, and like I said, I give all the credit to her. She was really, really fun to work off of, or to work with. So.
You were working with, okay, let's go back to the theme. We've got a group of rookies that you've got on stage, plus Michael B. Jordan. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen Fruitvale Station yet, go out and see it, because you're going to see an Oscar winner, or at least a nominee. And you had all these great veterans you worked with, Dana, Nathan, Ron. What was this experience like for you? Because it was quite the monumental cast.
Well, it's an enormous cast in the first place, but there were certain aspects of characters that I wanted to make sure we captured. For example, the characters are called Flash and Reverse Flash. So you want there to be some sort of similarity in the voices, and I loved listening to it and hearing lines that took place between you two, that it almost sounded like the same guy, except Reverse Flash had that little extra nasty edge, that evil edge, but they sounded like almost like siblings, you know what I mean? That same sound. Casting Sam was a hoot, because Sam was the only actor I could think of that wouldn't make Tim Daly angry with me. So that was sort of self-protecting. Michael B. Jordan, I had watched, you know, everybody talks about Friday Night Lights as the best show that nobody ever saw. Stunning, absolutely stunning. And I had been looking for something for him, and so when Cyborg came up in this, it was an easy choice. But we did have one instance where we were, the session that you came in for, where I like to do ensemble record. You guys have heard me say that before, where I bring a group of people in to work together, and with all these guys' schedules, they all couldn't work together. But we did have Dana Delaney, you, Ron Perlman, I think Sandy worked in that session and maybe 2 or 3 other actors, and that was a blast because that was kind of the combination of the old and new, and people had worked before. And I kind of did it so that you would be more comfortable because you knew those people already, but you had to work with them. So you had a chance to sort of be in that world. But it was nice to have that old and new together.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention the pair of Kevins we had as Batman. I heard a lot of you reacting when you heard the modern day Batman voice. Or both of you, Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy, people cheer, it's great.
There's 3 Kevins in this movie, by the way. Kevin Richardson.
Oh, that's right. Good point. But, and I know Justin can speak to him as well, but working with Kevin McKidd was pretty doggone good. What did you think of our Scottish Batman? Impressions?
Impressions, you say?
Sure, can you do an impression of Kevin McKidd?
It was fun to watch him find the voice, really like to work with him. And there was a period of time when we were working for hours at a time, and then we would take a break and we'd go back in and record, and he'd have to find the voice again. And it was really interesting to watch him work through that process. But there's something I missed before that I wanted to say, which was, Tommy mentioned it a second ago, which was the fact that he's never done this work before. Would you ever have known that from his performance, that he has never done voiceover work before? Wasn't that a remarkable performance?
And that's where you all say no.
Pleasure. Well, I mean, truly, the entire cast, it was a pleasure, but just any of the people that had never done this before were all just dreaming, truly.
I'm tired of asking questions. Anybody out there have questions? Everybody yell all at once, or get behind that microphone over there. If you ask really, really good questions and not carry away, can I have a kiss?
Yeah.
That's your face. I do have 5 scripts signed by the entire cast. 25 of these in the world. So.
You look cool, dude.
Thanks.
When you get to the microphone, say your name, ask your question.
Yep. Yeah, so my name is Jonah. This was actually my wish, for Make-A-Wish to be used. Well, I just recently read the graphic novel, and it blew me away. And I noticed how there were some scenes that weren't in the graphic novel. And I was wondering whose idea was that, and why Joe put those in.
Some of the scenes, well, when you're doing an adaptation, some things you have to take out for time. And so I don't know what specifically you missed, but it probably was something that we didn't have time to do. But I hope you liked it anyway. Get him on mic. What do you say?
It was amazing.
You're welcome.
I have no idea how I follow that up. So I'm gonna try. This question is just about the animated features in general. Lately, you guys have been putting out some really quality stuff, and this new one is really no exception. But when we're looking at them, we have a ton of Batman stuff that's been coming out. We have a few Superman features, a couple of Green Lantern, and even a Wonder Woman. My question is, I'm wondering why it took you guys so long to develop a feature film based on the Flash storyline.
Well, this is only my second movie, so you'll have to ask someone else.
The Flash is a difficult character. He's hard to pin down. You don't see a theatrical feature film on him yet, do you?
Would you agree it was worth the wait?
Yes!
Right is the trick. Right right is the key. Yes? Okay.
That's correct.
State your name.
My name is Tom. Firstly, I'd like to say kudos to you guys for showing Mickey Mouse's Marvel who really does animation. Wow. I wanted to know, you guys really pushed the envelope a lot with what we just saw. You know, a lot of action, a lot of blood, a lot of killing and death. Pretty crazy. Was there anything that a room full of DC lawyers said, you can absolutely not show that? I know you want to, but you cannot show that. Is there anything that you guys really wanted to show or had on the table that you had kind of pushed aside that you can talk about now?
Surprisingly enough, no. This is exactly the movie we wanted to make.
Just to add to that, there were some scenes where James told me, hey, we should really do this bullet to the head thing. I'm like, are you sure? Because we kind of downplayed it, but James said, we should try it. And I was like, you're the boss. So I have to credit a lot of those kind of decisions to James, because we kind of just had fun with it. Let's just have fun. And he let me do a lot that I would never do with Bruce.
Oh, great. Well, you know, I just come off of Brave of the Bold and all that kitty crap had gotten on my nerves. Joking, get it on Blu-ray. I just, you know, it was time, if the story's right, there's a time to push the envelope, and I think this was the time.
You sort of passed over the Aquaman Wonder Woman love scene a little quickly. Just a tiny bit.
That was James' idea, by the way.
And my question is, in general, for the panel, this is a tremendously ambitious parable about grief to me. And everything that went into this is truly the culmination of what you guys have been doing with these DC features for so many years. And I'm curious, for various members, whoever wants to answer, what you found to be the most rewarding, or I guess what you consider the biggest personal accomplishment from going through the process, whether it was the large-scale number of characters that you had to deal with in voice direction and in animation, or just anything that particularly struck you in making it.
You mean like what were the challenges?
The challenge was finishing it, actually. That was a huge challenge, but you know, whenever we adapt these stories, a lot of times they're classics or revered, and this one hadn't been out long enough to really be that. So it was kind of a challenge for us to make it mean something to all of you and to us, because it hadn't been out there like Dark Knight Returns, which, you know, is, you know, decades old and has a built-in audience. People are ready to see it. We had to, you know, find the story that would make all of you care, even those who don't read comics. So that was a big challenge for us. You know, it really forced us to not rely on just adapting a well-known comic book.
For me, there was so much action in this piece and so much fighting. And as Carrie can attest, everybody can attest, there were hours and hours of ADR where literally all the actors were doing was, and I mean, screaming, which I hate to make an actor do more than once, and sometimes you have to do it. But I remember you left the room drenched in sweat, absolutely drenched in sweat, and unable to speak. Yeah. And you guys, you know, there's no. And the truth of it is, sitting here watching it, I would like to have re-recorded that last scene where you're like standing on him and making him and make you be more in pain. I would have had to do it, be more in pain. Where the dialogue would have been more pushed, because his impacts and stuff were so intense, but his dialogue was kind of a little too controlled. I would have redone that. The truth of it is, we had a really intense production period where we had this much time to do ADR, so we couldn't do everything as much as we wanted.
Just to add to that one last thing, one of the things, in answer to your question, that we really wanted to push was design. That was one thing that I really wanted it to look different than what the past DC animated. A lot of times I hear people saying like, oh, we have a house style. And if you really look at all of our films, all the way to Dark Knight Returns, they're all very different. I mean, they all may have the same kind of pedigree, but they're very different and very subtle. And that was one thing that when Phil came aboard, I was very excited about, and I kept nudging him like, hey, let's take these designs and stretch them and push them and just do as much fun as we can. Because I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to really push in the action, which you saw. But finally, my last thing I wanted to point out is, we had the Dread Pirate Roberts here, so I had to... So of course, I had to really push the fighting, and if you really notice or pay attention, he is left-handed in a lot of the fights.
Hi, I just want to say, you guys really killed it with this movie. And my question is, how would you feel about a Flash animated series and the Young Justice crew and Green Lantern? You guys inspired me to go to school for script writing. And thank you very much. Okay.
You forgot to say your name.
Oh, hi, my name is Chris. Can I please have one of those scripts?
That's your question?
I'd be up for a Flash series. What if there's a Flash series?
A Flash series? That's the question. You want to do a Flash series?
I'd be up for making one.
Justin, what are you doing for me?
I like to work. Me too, and I'm available in October.
We have time for about 1 or 2 more questions.
Is this my name is Humberto, with an H. And is this the launch for the new 52 future animated movies? And what are the future projects of the DC Universe animated movies? Thank you.
Did a geek decide send you up there right now? That's a little inside joke. I'm glad you asked that question. It's not even a plan, so Humberto, you're going to get a prize. But we're going to get into that in just a minute, so clear off and give us another question, all right? Wow. We got to get prizes, right? I haven't had 5 good questions. Let's get into it.
Hi, my name's Jack. I've been a fan of the DC Universe, of all the cartoons, Young Justice. But it's one of those things for a long time I've been able to watch with my cousins and not been embarrassed. Thank you for finally making a really adult version that if my mom walked in and saw that, she'd be very upset.
You're welcome.
There's going to be a lot of new movies. I'm very excited about those. Is this sort of the bellwether of, yes, this is going to be more adult, targeted at an adult audience, targeted at people like me who have grown up with it and are ready for something new and a little more hardcore?
I guess that's me. Each movie's going to have its own flavor, its own character. Depends on what the story source is, if we think it deserves to be treated with the kind of intensity that this one has. Not all of them will, some will be, like all movies. Not every movie is going to be as nearly R-rated as this one was, quite frankly. So yeah, well, we hope to make them better and better, so. And answer your question, yeah, I think.
My next film, by the way, is badass, so check it out.
Aaron, you got one more?
Thanks. Real quick.
Name.
Nico. Want to get a sense, because this was a fantastic production, of the scale, the scope, the timeline, and the effort that goes into the almost 2-hour production we saw here, from inception all the way through to the voice acting and effects and post-production. Thank you.
Yeah, there wasn't a question mark at the end of that, so.
Just give us a sense of the effort. For some of us that don't know.
Pretty easy for me.
It's very short. It's very, very short. Right, James? It's like 3 months of pre-production and 6 months of animation, I think.
I'll just say it's never enough time.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. To break it down is kind of boring. So, but never enough time. Really never enough.
I think we started recording this right after Comic-Con last year, September-ish.
I don't remember, but it took about a month to get it done. Start to finish, took about a month to get the whole thing recorded.
I personally worked for 2 days. Please.
All right, as promised, July 30th, Flashpoint, you know that already, and you'll all be running out and purchasing, right?
Right.
Blu-ray combo packs for everybody, go. But it's our last original of 2013. Amazing, we're in that year, huh? But we do have a little something special for you in October. Dark Knight Returns Deluxe Edition. It's a combined package. You can get that special packaging, a beautiful steel box of the Blu-ray at Target, very exclusive. And they include an hour-long Frank Miller documentary with Frank talking right to you. All right, so there's more to come in 2014. Justice League War, based on the Jeff Johns piece, Justice League Origin. You might have that, Volume 1. And you've heard some of the cast that's coming out with that. Jason O'Mara as Batman, Shamar Moore as Cyborg, just gas. I'm sorry, Justin. Chris Gorham is taking the Flash on that one.
Oh.
We'll have you back. Sometime next year, we'll also have something called Son of Batman, based on Batman and Son. And Batman Assault on Arkham, which is, it fits neatly into it's a nice extension of the video game franchise. I believe, you know, you want me to give you a little tidbit of who's starring in that one?
Yes!
A voice?
Yes.
Kevin Conroy, where'd you get that from? I did not say that. But Andrea Romano plays tatted up boss lady.
Thank you.
Folks, that's all the time we have for this evening. I want you to say thank you to our panelists.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Go to BKBN.net. Go to BKBN.net. Go to BKBN.net. I tell you to go. Go down.